Hey, welcome everybody back to the Crypto Coffee channel. What's going on? I'm here with the founder of HEX Scout, and he's been in the community for a long time. He's a known developer, worked on hex.com, all kinds of other things. I mean, maybe Pulse Hot List, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Felix has been around for a long time, and it's a pleasure to have him here because we're going to talk about the brand new onboarding tool for HEX. It's called HEX Scout. And this is something I think everybody's going to want to be using if you're a HEX veteran or if you're brand new. It's very educational. It simplifies the process, and it's your one-stop shop. It's like a portfolio tracker, not only for HEX, but if you're holding PLS, PulseX, any of the ecosystem coins that you're holding in your wallet. You can also track the price of those, but it does so much cool stuff. And before I introduce Felix, let me just say hello to everybody. What's up, Kaiza, Red Squirrel, Fast Abdul, Squiggly Frank? Good to see everybody. MT Coiner, always a pleasure. Savaka, Francis, Dixon. People love HEX Scout. We've got Adi, says he loves it. I've been using it for a while, and it's great. So this is a much needed service. And I guess I'll let you introduce yourself and tell the world what you built.
Hey there. Thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. And hello to everyone. I'm Felix from HEX Scout. We developed the app for around 2 years and addressed one major issue the ecosystem had, and that is that it's super hard to actually onboard new people because it's super complicated to get in. And for no coiners, it's just not feasible to get through all the stuff you got to do in order to get your hands on some HEX or Pulse or PLSX. So we decided to build a tool to ease all this up and get the facts right and show the people how to get in easily, guide them through every necessary step, and at the same time provide an amazing tool for people that already are hexicans and have their portfolios and want to track the market and track their portfolios and manage their wallet and so on. So we're literally one for all tool, and a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a great website, hexscout.com. If you guys haven't bookmarked this already and you've got HEX stakes, you're going to want to do that. It's pretty good. And it's for more than just HEX staking. It will even track the perpetuals. That's one feature I love. It tracks, the virtual T-shares that you're holding with your perpetuals, the Maximus, Deci, all that kind of stuff. But it really helps solidify, I think, for people that HEX is a long-term savings technology. It's a savings vehicle that it's in crypto form, and it takes the power away from the banks into your own hands. So it's kind of the next generation of savings tech, long-term savings tech, and it's presented very well to the user when they can see all their stakes, their ladder, and even in-depth explanations of what T-shares are, how staking works, because there's a tool within HEX Scout that lets you plan out your own ladder. And a ladder, for people that don't know, just multiple stakes that all expire at different times so that you've always got something coming due. But it's a really good explainer of just the basics that a lot of people brush over, because sometimes new people, they might just think HEX is like a meme coin, or HEX is just because there's so many meme coins nowadays, bonk and all this crap. Like, these things are fun, and if you get lucky and you're early, you make a lot of money, but they don't really have a long-term lifespan. And HEX was designed with a long-term vision in mind. So, it monetizes time. You delay gratification when you stake your HEX. And tools like this, I think, articulate that it's not just another meme coin to hold in your wallet. And a lot of people that are just holding it liquid, you might want to consider staking because, what are the odds that HEX is actually lower than it is today? In my opinion, we've eaten the worst of the FUD. I mean, the SEC FUD is about as bad as you can get. I can't imagine it being much lower than it is today in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I think it teaches people that, when you're thinking on scales of 5 to 10 years from now, think about what Bitcoin did, think about what Ethereum did. And a lot of these coins, even Dogecoin, just by surviving for such a long time, they did astronomical gains, but only for the people that held them through all those ups and downs. Which is why long-term holders benefit the most rather than chasing short-term pumps, which can be fun too, right? I'm not saying there's like an absolute right or wrong way to do crypto. But when you just think about the future, the number of people that don't know about crypto yet to the number of people that currently know about it, and the fact that HEX is at a pretty low point right now, makes it a pretty attractive time to me to set up a staking ladder because, Hex was designed with staying power. It was designed to last more than one cycle. It's designed to last decades, honestly. But if you can just think past the next, even 1 or 2 years and think about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, let's say the price is $1 in 7 more years. That would be like bearish to me. I think the price can go to $1,
Totally.
2 or 3 years. But to me, it just seems like such a high risk to reward. Like for very little risk, you can have potentially a very high reward. You're risking only what you're putting in. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. But let's say you've got a few $1,000s. The risk is you lose a couple $1,000s. And to me, that risk is pretty low anyway, because Hex has 100% uptime. It's never been hacked. Smart contract is immutable. So the risk of it going away at this point, after being up for 4 years straight, running perfectly, is pretty low. And the risk of the price staying absolutely stable and flat is also pretty low, in my opinion, right? There's no guarantees, but whether it's 50 cents or $1 or $10 in 5 years, you're making yield the whole time, and you're paying yourself to take the stress out of the day-to-day staring at the charts, right?
Totally agreed. There was you brought it to a point. Perfect. That's literally what's been happening in the past years. And I am 100% with you on this. I don't think that we see much lower lows or the bear market continuing forever. So in the end, in my opinion, Hex might be a decent investment over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's long-term savings tech. It's a digital certificate of deposit. And I think a lot of people can forget that it was designed with a long-term future with censorship resistance, immutability, and it was just hardened to be something that is not going anywhere. And the fact that people are locking it for an average of 7 years shows you that the real believers in the ecosystem do imagine that it's going to be around in 7 years.
Yeah,
It's just really hard for me to imagine a future where the price is lower in 5, 6, 7 years. And then using Hex Scout is a nice way to neatly organize. If you've got multiple addresses and stuff like that, like I do, you could track them all in one place. You could track the expiration dates of your stakes. You could even make a staking ladder. You can even buy Hex, right, from within the website. And I believe it's coming to iOS and Android soon. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We are currently working on the apps, and they are in the final stage. So only a few minor bugs to fix, and then we gotta push them through the app stores. So Apple and Google review every app that is pushed to their app stores, and that takes around 7 days usually. A little longer for Apple, as they are, a little stricter than Google is. So from our end, the apps are nearly complete and will be pushed to the app stores for security checking soon. And whenever they are done, they will be live for the public.
Cool. Really quick, I just want to address something in the chat. I'm not ignoring the chat, guys. Sometimes I don't I don't look at it all the time. So they want to know about Free Pulse, which was one of the previous projects that I think was abandoned due to the fee issue, right? Would you mind just explaining what happened with that previous project?
Yeah, so the fees were too high to actually run a faucet on PulseChain. And my partner back then just jumped off the project, so I really didn't have a choice. And as he was the developer and I was just the normal guy for legal stuff and all. And at the same time, we were facing legal issues that we couldn't solve where we live. And for these reasons, we had to cancel a project, sadly.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I mean, a faucet would have been nice. I understand like you didn't expect gas fees to be that high. I didn't join whatever sacrifice was run on that. But I guess the concern
the
is
sacrifice was fully returned. We didn't take a cent.
okay. So there you go. It was fully returned to everybody. I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody really upset about it. So that's good to know. I mean, I guess there's only so much you could do, right? I thought it was going to be awesome, but the fees, you can't really change what the fees ended up being. But there you go, guys. Anyone concerned? It looks like the fees were fully returned. I haven't even, I was never a part of that set, but hopefully everyone's all good on that one. Anyway, Dixon says thanks. Yeah, I mean, good. Thanks for bringing it up. Right, we got to clear the air if there's anybody skeptical still. But yeah, I mean, Felix, I know you from working on Hex.com back in the day. So I know you're one of the Hexicans that I assume is not going anywhere. And your team has built something really cool. So you want to maybe display it on the screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen with you. All right, you should be able to see it now.
I could see. Yep. Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, sure. If you're ready,
Okay.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. This is the beautiful website, everybody. I love the user experience too, and just the fact that it's eHex and pHex all in the same place. Between this and GoPulse.com, I feel like those are the primary two websites you need for getting started in PulseChain.
Yeah, totally. So what I would like to focus on today is the onboarding tool that we built for HEX, just to highlight how easy it is to get people in now. And I think, what has been the largest issue for you with onboarding new people into HEX, personally?
It's really all different. A lot of people don't trust crypto in general right now because they see FTX on the news. They assume it's all a scam. There are a lot of scams, and it's hard. And the people that are in crypto right now, I think because everybody's so wrecked, everyone's back to chasing short-term games, and the concept of long-term holding is just not appealing to anybody. So I mean, Hex resonates with people that are ready for it. If you're ready to, invest in an asset class that's notorious for beating inflation and over the long term creating many millionaires and financial freedom, then it will resonate with you. But I guess that's it for the normies. It's like too scary. For the existing crypto people, a lot of them are kind of treating it more like a casino these days. I would say that's it.
Okay. Let's assume someone is willing to actually get into HEX and give it a chance. What we have today is a pretty complicated market with all the other stuff around HEX that has been built in the past couple of years. Like, for example, people have multiple ways to stake their HEX. They have the native way, which is pretty complicated due to the front ends that have been taken down. We have Hedron, we have pool stakes, we have many more tools that actually allow you to stake HEX. So it's just so many ways and so complicated, and you don't really know where to start as a beginner. And that's what we've been addressing with HEX Scout, and that's what we build a tool for. And I would like to show it to you and demonstrate it to everyone in the chat, just to, get you all excited about how easy it is to actually onboard people into HEX.
Go for it.
All right. So we build a tour that consists of 4 parts. First of all, we need to know, or we need to learn what HEX actually is. The basics, like what's the coin and so on. Second step is to learn about staking, the main feature of HEX. Third is actually to buy some HEX after learning about it. And in the end, we would like to stake HEX because that's what HEX is intended to do. So if you get HEX, it's really not smart to not stake them. So that's the structure of this whole onboarding tour. And I would like to go through each step with you, if that's fine, and show you around. Of course, we are starting with what is HEX. So let's say you want to onboard someone who hasn't done anything with crypto and hasn't done anything with HEX or anything else. Most people in real life don't even invest in shares or whatever in companies. They just don't do anything with their money. It lays around on a bank account and that's it. So it's pretty hard to explain HEX, which is a pretty complex crypto, to someone who has never done anything before in that direction. So what we built here is a page that explains it super easily, gives you some nice tools to actually play around with, and leads you the way into HEX. We also added this little explainer video down here, which makes it super clear what T-shares are and how they work and how interest works and so on. And that's the first page to read. and the first nice tool to play with. So let's assume we would like to invest 5555 into HEX. What would we be interested in? First, we would like to know what HEX has done in the past. HEX, if you bought HEX at the bottom, like in 2020, you could have had $44 million at the all-time high. 93 million HEX in your wallet today, which is just insane, right? This little amount of money would have made you $44 million. Pretty insane. Pretty nice to play with. What we built here on the right is a tool that shows you what HEX might be doing in the future based on what crypto does in general. So if you bought with these $5,000 today, you would get around 580K HEX. And at all-time high prices, or in the next 10 years, when you stake them for 10 years, you might earn $8 million, which is still pretty amazing, right? For this time horizon. And yeah. So
yeah, you're not getting those gains in the stock market or anywhere else, really. Bonds, any of that. Crypto's the highest performing asset class, but you do have to sit through the volatility, right? And so just to bring it back to the basics, right? Staking is it protects you from your own worst enemy, which is yourself, your own psychology, staring at the charts all day. Because the people that stake HEX early and long are actually still pretty happy, and probably more so if they're not concerned with every single little drama every single day. But I believe that just it's going to continue to be around, and a lot of times just when things survive with the community, they end up doing well over time.
Well, staking gives you absolute peace of mind because you're literally sitting there and you can't listen to your emotions. Whatever you might be feeling in the moment, if it's FUD or if it's anything negative, you just can't listen to it because you protected yourself in the times you felt good. And now you're sitting through these phases, and it's totally normal. Markets always moved in waves, and it's always been market cycles. And it's nothing unusual we're seeing or we are experiencing over the past 2 years. It's just what happens to crypto and what happens to markets in general. And staking protects you, as you said. It's really the best way to protect yourself from yourself. And we make that very clear on this page here. And it's really much a first introduction into HEX. Of course, it's not super deep, or it doesn't explain HEX in every detail because it's way too much for a new guy to actually comprehend. You just cannot learn every detail about T-shares and penalties and so on. So we broke it down to what you really need to know, and brought it to you here in an easy manner so everyone can get it. And that's pretty much the first part of this little onboarding tool. Any questions so far?
No, I mean, you compare the Bitcoin chart to the HEX chart, and I just want to mention, everything is a gamble, right? But when you think about the fact that this code cannot be shut off, and it does have the staying power of Bitcoin, it's been up for 4 years straight. I guess the only real gamble you have to ask yourself is, do you think it's going to be around in the future, or just go down forever to zero? And to me, that's kind of an easy bet, just because I see all the people joining every day, 124,000 stakers already, and people like yourself that keep building stuff and keep adding to the ecosystem. People building within PulseChain, everyone's adding new projects like this one around HEX. I don't see it going anywhere. And although it might not, obviously it's not going to copy the Bitcoin chart directly.
No, of course not.
I just see it being higher in 2 years than it is today. And that doesn't seem very unlikely to me.
Absolutely. There's literally no community that had to face such immense FUD as HEX did and as Hexings did. So it's just crazy that the community is still stronger and stronger and bigger. And I think we are by far the strongest community out there. I can't think of any other crypto community as strong as us. So
it's crazy, man. People get so much engagement. People get so much engagement just by tagging HEX, even if it's a hate comment, we just swarm in their comments. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, so that's the first part. As I said, a little introduction into HEX. The second part, and pretty much the highlight of this onboarding tour, is the page where we educate you about staking. Of course, it contains information about staking as well. Not as well. Of course, it contains information about staking, teaches you everything you need to know. But the best part about this is the little tool we built, which is a ladder generator that allows you to develop your own staking strategy within around 2 minutes. And I would like to go through it with you.
Yeah, please.
Actually,
Just
it's super
quickly,
easy.
just for people that are new here, I just want to briefly explain that if you are new, definitely start off with hexscout.com. And a staking ladder is really simply it's just having multiple stakes, all expiring at different times. I know this is a super review for most of you guys, but having 5 or 10 or 15 stakes, let's say expiring every 6 months, or you can have them whenever you want to. That just makes sure that you are able to hopefully have some stakes expiring, whether it's good times or bad times in the overall market.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a way of DCAing, right? If you get yourself a staking ladder, you are getting stakes in a bull market and in a bear market as well. So you will always find a way to be profitable if you want to. And it's just a great tool and a great way to actually use the staking method. All right. So the first question the staking tool asks you is if you want to stake for yourself or for somebody else, because a staking ladder is also a great gift. Or let's say you got children, a newborn child, 2 years old, and want to get him a staking ladder for his future. You can do it for yourself or for somebody else. Let's go with for me. Next thing is to actually set your goal. Do you want to invest with a long-term perspective? Do you want to prioritize long-term over short-term? Do you want to prioritize short-term over long-term? Or do you just want to earn fast passive income? The best way to go, obviously, is the long-term perspective, as HEX is designed for long-term investors and large and long stakes. So we choose the first option. Next thing, and that's pretty important, is we ask you how much you would like to invest. That's because we want to make sure that the staking strategy that we deploy for you is actually profitable and doesn't get eaten up by fees, which is a common issue because many people made too small stakes. And on Ethereum, of course, we don't have this issue on Pulse, but on Ethereum, they made too small stakes. So actually end staking isn't really worth it because the fees are too high and would eat up the stake or at least the interest. So we ask you how much you would like to invest. Let's go with the 5555 again. And thirdly, we ask you how old you are. That we do because it doesn't really make sense for someone who's already 90 years old to stake for 15 years, because when you're in that age, it's not certain what will be in the next 15 years. So we don't want to recommend too long stakes for certain people. But let's go with 30 for now. And there we go. You now see a staking strategy for your capital and for your interest. So interest in the way of, for your perspective. We decided to choose long-term stakes. So we see the shortest one ending in 3,600 days and the longest one in 15 years. A nice little chart to project the yield you will be earning over this time. This is actually maths and not some hypothetical way of showing anything. That's what you really earn in this time based on the code. And down here, we got a nice little report showcasing you or explaining to you why we chose the way that we suggest here over here at the top for you, why we chose it, how and why we chose the stakes and why they fit your goals. And that is pretty much the most important part of this onboarding tool. Getting yourself a staking strategy within a minute or two.
Very nice. So this will just create an example ladder. And by the way, you can edit this as well. You don't have to just go with
Sure.
whatever they recommend. So you can add new stakes, and if you don't like them, you can remove some of them. Because I mean, I personally, I mean, yes, I would do some 10 years stakes, but I'd also do some 2, 3, 4, 5 year as well.
Yeah, that you
But
could also achieve by just choosing a different goal. If you would like to prioritize long term, but also earn some short term passive income, and then go through it again, you pretty much get exactly that. So you
awesome.
can configure as you like, and we will provide you with your goal and with specific stakes for your goal.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat about emergency unstake fees. Are those factored in, or are you just kind of using a standard constant hex per t-shirt per day?
This is just hex per t-shirt per day. So we didn't include emergency unstake penalties. I will show you a different tool in a minute that includes them, and that is also feasible for this little staking tool here. Yeah, let's get through this first, and then I'm going to show you the next tool. All
Okay.
right. After learning about HEX, learning about staking, and developing your own staking strategy, you of course need to learn how to actually buy HEX, how to get your hands on it. And with PulseChain released in May, we get two options now. We can either go for EHEX or for PHEX. And to help you decide which way to go, we made this site here, comparing these to comparing them and educating you about the differences between EHEX and PHEX and Ethereum and PulseChain. So you can really just go ahead and make a decision. And we will go with PHEX for now, for demo purposes. And that's actually the next interface you're going to see. It allows you to choose a fast process or a cheap process. So the fast process is via credit card. And of course, credit card transactions are always more expensive than wire transfers because the bank doesn't take any fee from you. For demo purposes, we will go with the fast process now. And in the next step, it asks you if you already have a wallet, like MetaMask, or if you don't. We click no for now. So the first step of these 6 here would actually be to install MetaMask. And we guide you through every step necessary, show you each step that's required with pictures and short descriptions here, so you really can't make any mistakes. And it's super easy, super understandable. Yeah, and for
That's
every
really
step
nice.
that's necessary, we made this little guide here. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that pretty much explains you how to buy with a credit card. As there is literally no good tool, no good credit card tool to buy PLS directly, we have to go through Ethereum. So you first have to buy Ethereum, swap this Ethereum for WPLS, Red Pulse, which is explained here, bridge it over to PulseChain to actually transact over there and get your hands on PHEX. And then, of course, in the last step, exchange these PLS for HEX. We are
Very
currently
nice.
looking into different solutions for that. I think many of you guys know Coast, which is an amazing onboarding tool for PulseChain as well, as it allows you to buy Pulse and HEX and PLSX directly with fiat money. For now, only with US dollars. So it's just a solution for America, but not for the whole world. But as soon as they deliver a solution for everyone, we will, of course, implement them here, as it's far easier, cheaper, and a solution that doesn't require any other companies that are not building on PulseChain. So that will be probably sometime next year, in the first half of next year. So this whole onboarding tour will get even easier and faster and cheaper. But that is it for now. And after
So when you
buying,
when you go back to the how to buy tab, and when you see there's two options, one is the easy, convenient way, one is the cheapest way. Where does wire transfer? Does that link off to Coast?
Not yet, no,
Oh,
because
that
we
will.
are that will, yeah, right. Because we designed this tool for literally anyone on the whole world. And as I said, Coast is only available for the US market as of right now. So people with euros or yen or whatever can't really use it.
I think Coast is
That's why we
available in a couple of different.
available,
I think.
yes, but they only accept US dollars. So that's the
Oh,
only
okay.
currency they are working with at the moment, which makes it hard for anyone else because you gotta get your hands on some US dollars first. Like, let's say
Mhm.
you live somewhere in Europe and want to use Coast, you gotta get to your bank and somehow get dollars and then transfer them to Coast. So this
Yeah,
extra step, getting dollars in a non-dollar country, is kind of hard, and no traditional bank here offers it. So it's just not a feasible solution for now. But I talked to them, and they will go for multi-currency support sometime next year. And as soon as they get it, they will be implemented. But for
that's
now,
great
it's
to hear. But thank you so much for the tip. This is a tip from Coast. Stoic OX says thanks for the shout out. Looking forward to seeing the buy feature on the website. Yeah, it's awesome, all the synergy here. We've got so many people building cool things. But yeah, Felix, props for realizing that this is Hex is a global cryptocurrency, right? A lot of Americans
yeah,
we don't we don't remember that there's many other currencies out there, many other countries, and when you look at the breakdown of crypto worldwide, um, the rest of the world is just as big, is actually a much bigger player collectively than the USA alone. So onboarding different countries with these different currencies is going to be huge. I should know this already, but is there a different language toggle on the Hex Scout website?
not yet. No, that was we are planning that for the future, definitely for version 2 of Hex Scout. But it was way too much work to do it in version
Yeah,
1. It would have taken another
of
six
course.
months or so to accomplish that, and we didn't have the time. Like, we wanted to launch after 2 years of development and finally get
Yeah,
out on the market. So yeah, not yet. It's only English for now, but you can translate it with
that's,
many browsers actually, and it works just fine. So a solution is in place, but we will of course support multiple languages in the future.
of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, take a break, have a little celebration for a job well done, and also, yeah, thanks for the tip, Stoic. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, and 0x is so Coast is an amazing tool. Like, it's just great. I think it's vastly underrated for now. Way too little people are using it actually, because it's literally the first real on-ramp to Pulse directly. And all the steps described here are just way more work and way more gates to go than just using Coast. So you guys did an amazing job with that, and it will definitely build into HexGuard very soon.
Cool. I mean, this is great. What was the third option? I'm sorry to make you go back, but on the how to buy, there were
Yeah,
three. Yeah,
the
the
third
save process.
option. Amazing question. Thank you. The save process, actually, we offer you a one-on-one support if you would like that. So for the people that actually have no real connection to crypto or don't feel safe using this whole thing and want to be guided through every step, we offer a solution as well. So you can book your support appointment here. Let's say you want to learn how to buy, or you want someone to guide you through buying so you make no mistakes, because in the end it's about moving money from A to B, and some people fear to make any mistake, and so the money is lost in the end. So we offer you a support feature as well. You can book your appointment right here. Yeah, just select whatever you need help with. You can select just one topic, two topics over here, or all three topics, and we will help you go through all necessary steps. Of course, this is not financial advice, but a technical support. So we will not be able to tell you what to do with your money, but how to do it safely. And yeah, that's the third option for everyone who doesn't feel safe on his or her own.
That's good. There's a lot of people out there that are in that category. So a lot of us
Yeah,
crypto nerds, we're biased and we say, well, why don't you just learn it for free? Everything's out there for free. Well, I've had a lot of people ask me for one-on-one consultation time, that's the reason I made a course, right? Is so that I can just forward people to that and teach them everything they need to know. So I think that's totally valid, and it's a good way for certain people to gain that confidence, right? Crypto is the Wild West. Not everybody feels comfortable just figuring it out on their own. You know, they're like, "Where I'm sending my credit card to this random
Yeah,
cryptocurrency," and like,
exactly.
you know, it's scary. So that's
Or
cool.
sending money from Kraken to your MetaMask wallet. What if you type in the wrong wallet? The money is gone. No one can help you. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might really make sense for some people to actually get in touch in this case, and yeah, just get someone experienced to help you through every process necessary.
exactly. So
All
cool,
right.
and it's a good way to monetize.
Sorry?
It's a good way to monetize the app as well. Like, why not?
Yeah, true. That's the third step. So now if we followed all steps in here, we got HEX now, EHEX or PHEX, whatever you decided. And the last step would actually be to develop to put your staking strategy into place and get your stakes done. So what we see here in the first step is the overview again that we've seen in step 2. Your personal ladder, you can of course customize it here if you wish to delete a stake or add a new one or whatever. It's all possible right here, right before staking. If we like what we see and we are good to go, we can just select next step. And now we got to choose how we would like to stake our HEX. There are 3 options available. Of course, the native way to stake your HEX, which is directly via the HEX smart contract. Hedron, which allows you to encapsulate your stake, to transfer it, and just be more flexible or even sell it before it ends. And then we got pool stakes, which is the community stakes you talked about earlier, Maxi and DHC and all these. The differences are explained right below this little checkbox here. So you can learn about the different ways, their advantages and disadvantages, and make the decision for yourself which way to go. We're going to select one of each for now. Then just hit next step again. And all you need to do now is click stake. And in this case, I don't have a wallet connected, so it doesn't know I have HEX. So it tells me to actually buy some HEX in order to execute the stakes. If you would have HEX in your wallet now, MetaMask would just pop up and ask you to confirm your stake, and that would be it. After this final step, you would be all set up. For the pool stakes, of course, it's something else because you can't stake them. You got to buy your shares on the open market. Yeah.
That's so
So
awesome. That's all basically all of these have advantages and disadvantages, and it gets confusing for new
exactly.
people when they hear us talking about Hedron and Maximus. They're like, "What is that?" So this looks very professional, right? It looks like something familiar from Web 2.0. So it's nice to have it all on one screen. I'm just wondering where do you launch them off to, like Fox.io to go buy the perpetuals?
We got a swap built into HEX Scout.
Oh, so
So
it's
you
all
can
through
just,
GoPulse. Nice.
yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
And the same thing, of course, for HEX. This is Pythias. Yeah. So it's
Very
all
nice.
right on the website. You don't have to exit it at any time.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Like you really don't need to go anywhere else. You don't need to bother learning all these different websites. You don't need to watch so many hours of YouTube videos. Like everything you need is right here if you want to do it on your own. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you don't need to pay for tech support, but you can if you want to. Like all the information, all the instructions is right on the website if you're just willing to read and maybe take an hour of time to kind of read through everything. Because yeah, it's been getting chaotic in the Hex ecosystem with all the different tools,
Exactly.
Hedron and
Yeah,
Maxi. It's crazy.
totally. So that's why we decided to build one tool for literally everything. You don't need anything else anymore.
Yeah,
All
and it's a
right.
free tool. for people that might have got the wrong impression, all of this is absolutely free. Felix
Absolutely.
and team all built this for free. So, I mean, it's just what more can you ask for? Same thing with the Go Pulse guys. It's like there's no sacrifice, there's no crazy coin associated with it.
Nope, nothing.
It's really nice.
The only way for us to make money off this is literally with the support feature, and that is it. We do not earn anywhere else, and yeah, it's all presented to you for free.
Yeah, I don't know of anywhere else where it's like where people are putting in so much sweat equity, so much labor with no, all up front for free. I mean, the Coast guys also, that's another team that did this all without raising any money, and they're just hoping to be profitable one day in the future. It is so common in crypto for people to collect a bunch of money and then sometimes never deliver anything. So, you guys put out a product first and ask for money optional later to provide a service, right? So I don't know how anybody could be upset about this. This is just good in every single sense.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. If you would like, I can show you around a little more to showcase the most important features apart from the onboarding tour. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see it
All
all.
right. So that's obviously the landing page right here. It's the market page giving you an overview over the complete HEX market, what's going on, starting with the chart, liquidity, supply, and of course, price. You can see what's been going on in the last 24 hours. How many HEX have been sold, how many HEX have been bought, how many HEX have been staked and unstaked. You have a nice little whale watch here, so you can track what the big guys are doing. Of course, an overview over the staker class, showcasing how many stakers there are, giving you details on the T-share rate, giving you details on how many HEX are actually staked. If you click on this little thing here, you get an overview over the T-share chart, over the daily payout, and over the T-share supply, which is going down, which is pretty nice for every staker. Below this, you got an overview over the pool stakes, so the community stakes, base, trio, lucky, dg, and maxi. It's all here. You can also expand this to a detailed overview. And yeah, last but not least, a little gas price ample, which is for PulseChain, of course, at $0. If we select Ethereum right at the top here, we see that even sending Ethereum costs $5 at the moment, and performing a swap is at $44, which is pretty insane.
Outrageous.
Why I don't get why people are still using this when there's a better option on the market, but each to their own. And of course, this whole site works for EHEX as well. So you got the EHEX price chart, you got the EHEX stats, and everything that has been there for PulseChain is also there for EHEX.
Yeah, it's nice to just toggle back and forth. I love what you did with that's so easy to see, and it explains right away. Oh yeah, there's two hexes. A lot of people come in, they don't realize there's two hexes. All they're seeing is EHEX. So it just kind of explains everything without having to go find all that info on YouTube. I like and the chart obviously looks a little bit better on PHEX. But yeah, this is pretty cool.
Thank you. All right, the next amazing feature is the portfolio section, which allows you to track one address or multiple ones, like literally any address you're interested in. For demo purposes, let's go with the God Whale for now. I mean, this guy has a crazy portfolio.
Yeah,
8.5
must be nice.
billion heads.
Yeah, that's 8 billion with a B, guys. For people that don't know God Whale either, he was notorious for creating a big green candle in the early days and believing and locking up for 14 years. This guy's a lunatic. My stakes I think are average of 7 years, but this
part. His average stake is 14 years long. That's crazy. So this guy is definitely a believer, and yeah, guys like this are around for 15 years. So how should HEX ever go away?
I gotta ask you a question. Who is the fire whale? What is that?
The fire whale is another whale who bought tremendous amounts of HEX. He transferred it to a different wallet in the meantime. Like he split it up to multiple wallets. But it's also a pretty known whale, but of course not as known as the God whale. Like the God whale is the first and by far biggest whale we have in this HEX ecosystem.
Damn.
But it's perfect to showcase you what the portfolio page does. So first of all, you get this nice little overview over the net worth right here, showing you which assets he holds, EHEX stakes, PHEX stakes, and this guy holds some PLSX. You got the detailed HEX view down here. If you click this little arrow to expand it, you can see exactly how many liquid EHEX he got, 0 at this time, how many staked EHEX, almost 300 million, liquid PHEX, also 0, and stake PHEX, also 240 million. You can see when his next stake is ending, which is in 156 days. And yeah, how many T-shares he got and how many stakes in total. Going down a little more. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay. Going down a little more, we see his other assets. So that's literally everything Pulse or ecosystem related he got in his wallet. Expanding this will give you details on these as well. So he got his PulseX, around 190K in PLSX. You can see the 24-hour price change and the 1-hour price change. And if it was your portfolio, you could click here and go ahead to buy some more PLSX. So that is the overview of other assets other than HEX. You can see his balance chart, how many HEX he has, and or how many HEX he has now and had in the past. This includes buys, sells, and yield he earns on his stakes. Next feature is to actually have a look at his history, seeing what he does and did in his wallet. So buying and selling and transferring and all that. And this is literally the most interesting part for me personally, because you can see here how many stakes he has, and you can see the details on all of these stakes. So you see this, for example, is one stake. In this nice little staking card here, you can see how many T-shares it contains, how many principal, the yield it earned, and how many HEX there will be at the end of the stake. So this is just a small one here, probably playing around. If you expand this view by clicking the 3 little dots right here, you get even more details. How high was the longer pays better bonus? How high was the bigger pays better bonus? His APY, and his current return on invest. So the stake is only going for a few days now, since December 11th. So he didn't earn much yield yet. And if he emergency end staked right now, he would get an ES payout of 54 million HEX. So you can also see this little end stake calculation here.
That's nice.
All right.
Yeah, that's nice. Both chains, all assets,
Exactly.
The only thing it doesn't show is, I think, liquidity positions, which, I mean, for the most basic user, they probably shouldn't be liquidity providing anyway. But yeah.
It doesn't show them yet. We are building this at the moment as we speak. It's on our list because many people requested it. And of course, we had to fix some bugs that have been reported after the launch first, and are currently focusing on the app. But this feature will definitely be added in the future, I guess, pretty early next year.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, for me, that would complete everything. Like if you show the liquidity positions, I mean, that would mean it's basically on par with fatty.io. I couldn't imagine anything else I would want after that.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice. An interesting stat for your own portfolio is, of course, how many HEX you're earning per day, per week, per month, and per year. And it's an interesting way to showcase this little HEX dollar switch right here at the top, because you can translate all of that to actual dollars. So this guy is earning around 1.7K a day, 12K per week, 52K per month, and around 600K per year. And this little dollar switch changes everything to dollar, which is also great on the market page because you can see, have a look at liquidity now, 1.7 billion HEX, which equals 60 million bucks.
Is that counting liquidity from all sources, or is that just PLS HEX liquidity?
That should be from all sources.
Okay.
Yeah. So the PLS HEX pool should by far be the largest one, and the other ones are just minor pools. So yeah, this is accounting everything.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So that is pretty much the portfolio page, and I think I wanted to right when we were in the starter tour, I wanted to show you one more tool that calculates end stake penalties and so on. To get there, we gonna go to stake and scroll down to ladder, and it lets you calculate your own staking ladder. It's a preset ladder here. You can customize it as you like by clicking add, like select different things here, durations and stake sizes. And down here, you see a nice little chart that shows you exactly how much yield you would be earning. I know it looks super complicated at the beginning, but it shows you how much you would be earning. And here, this break-even point shows you when it would be feasible to emergency end stake in order to get your principal back. So because we just added this immense stake here of 150 million HEX, this is now at 7.5 years, and everything before that would literally eat up your whole principal and of course interest. And yeah, at the end, after 15 years, we would have earned around 444 million HEX. So right here you got this chart. We will make it more. We will go over it again so it explains itself a little better, because you got to really sit in front of it and think about it in order to understand it. We will ease this thing a little up so you can comprehend it more easily.
Yeah, for people that don't know, EES means emergency end stake. You should never do that. But if you have to, I mean, hexscout.com will calculate exactly how much you'll pay in penalties, because Hex is staking with consequences, right? It's real TVL, it's real total value locked. A lot of other quote unquote TVL, you can unlock it whenever you want. So is it really locked if you can just take it in and out with no penalty, or even no time delay? Like, that's a lot of people say TVL, but there's no consequences. So Hex, yeah, you have EES penalties. You also have the share system for people that are brand new here. When you stake Hex, you're burning your Hex and you're actually buying shares. The more shares you buy, the more yield you'll get when your stake is due. And so when your stake is due, you're burning the shares and you're minting brand new Hex into existence. And your total payout at the end of your stake term is based on how many shares you had times how many days you held, right? And times the Hex T-share per payout per T-share per day. So that's the calculation that determines your yield. The more shares you buy early on, the better, because shares are depreciating. Shares are getting dwindling away a little bit more every day. They're getting more scarce. And it ends up being a battle for T-shares, which just stands for a trillion shares. So, I mean, if anyone's brand new listening, that's how Hex staking works in a nutshell.
Yeah, perfectly explained. For everyone who wants to read about it again, just head to hexscout.com, click get started, and read through every necessary step. It will be explained to you in a perfect way.
Yep. Cool.
All right, so that's actually the most important features on hexscout.com. One page we could also have a quick look at would be the single stake calculator, which allows you to put new stakes in place. For advanced users, we also offer a pro mode which skips these little explaining or layer first pages here. You can enable it by hitting settings in the bottom right, in the top right corner. Click promote enable, and you see the menu change a little. If you click stake now, you get directly to the single stake page, which allows you to calculate your stakes by selecting the time frame and the amount of stake you would like, the amount of HEX you would like to stake. Sorry. And what it shows you is literally the bonuses you would get, the t-shirts you would get, and what you would earn with them daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And if you would like to set a price here, let's say $1, you would get a calculation on how much revenue you would actually make with the stake you selected. And down here again, little overview over the staking cost at the moment, which is at 35 PLS, like almost nothing. So super cheap to actually interact on PulseChain. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, gas fees are just dirt cheap on PulseChain, guys. I think they're over 10,000x cheaper right now. Ethereum's getting crazy again. Bitcoin is even crazy. It costs you $40 to send a Bitcoin. So if you're going to get into HEX for a new person, PulseChain is probably where you're going to want to start. Now, if you're an existing OG or whatever, Ethereum is going to fix its stuff eventually, but that might take 4 or 5 years, So making a long HEX stake on Ethereum, on the Ethereum side, might not be the worst idea ever, but for the new people coming in, it's much easier on the PulseChain side to get started. You show me how you got to these tools again? I didn't see that part.
Which one?
The tools you were just on about showing the. Oh, that's just on the stake.
Yeah.
Your side menu looks different than my menu.
Yes, I just explained it. You gotta head to the settings wheel at the top right corner.
Okay.
Go down to Pro mode and click enable. It's for all users who are already advanced and are experienced and don't need the beginner guides anymore. So it will directly lead you to this little staking page here, the single stake calculator. And there you have your tools, the tools I just showed. So let's just select some random number here. If you scroll down there to the estimated HEX price at maturity chart and click there, select $1, you will see how much you would actually earn over these 2,500 days.
Cool. This is all great stuff, dude. I love the tool. Pro mode is something I didn't know about until just now. So yeah.
Appreciate you.
I
love that you like it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a beautiful website, all for free, guys. I mean, the community is so spoiled, right? To have people like this, people like you, GoPulse, Coast, everybody just putting in the effort for free, right? For free. I mean, the one weird thing about the community in PulseChain and HEX in general is that people aren't paid up front. Like there's no insiders, there's no marketing teams. Like I wasn't paid any tokens to promote HEX. People find that so hard to believe just because that is the playbook, and Solana, all those guys. I don't have I don't have transaction proof, but a lot of these guys are getting paid to promote a lot of these coins. They're taking deals under the table, and there's really nothing wrong with that as long as it's responsibly disclosed, right? It's not like it's bad. It's just that we do things a little differently over here, and it's hard for people to believe. So
the thing is, we all have a common goal. We want HEX and the ecosystem to succeed. So if you want to achieve something, you got to work towards it, right? And if you don't are willing to put effort into it, you can't expect it to actually work out. So that's why we are all commonly building and going for the same goal.
Yeah, it's a decentralized network. It's organic. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. And I think being in it for the long term, we're all in this for, I mean, my personal average is 7 years, but that means I have 15-year stakes and I have 1-year stakes, So I might as well, while I'm sitting around waiting for everything to go back up again, I might as well promote stuff and build stuff. And a lot of other people have the same ideas. So yeah, guys, there you go. We're at about an hour. I do have to get going. I have an appointment pretty soon. Check out hexscout.com. Put all your addresses in there. It's your one-stop shop for all your HEX staking. And for new people coming in, if they're wondering how to buy HEX, how to stake HEX, just go to hexscout.com. I mean, if you want to take the time and spend an hour or two reading the website, you can figure everything out, no cost, all free. Figure out how to buy, how to stake, how to ladder, and even get some support if you'd like. And even check out like the latest news or who to follow in the ecosystem and stuff like that. Everybody in the chat, hope you enjoyed it. I am not stoned, sir. So it's funny because the chat box, I have to look down and to the left, so it's been looking like my eyes are closed for the whole screen. So, I'm just looking down, guys. I'm not. I'm on a nice glass of water. That's all I'm high on. And life. So anyway, is there anything you want to finish off with or promote before we go?
Well, visit hexscout.com, of course. And furthermore, I want to thank you for the invitation. It was a great time. And thank you to the guys who listened to us. Appreciate you all coming together. And yeah, thank you, Coffee. It's been a pleasure.
No problem. Yeah, guys, look, I know it's tough at the bottom of a bear. It's, people's conviction is being tested. Now is the time to set up the long-term stakes. What if it all works out, right? I really, really strongly believe that these are not going anywhere. When you look around, you look at the community building every day, you look at the on-chain metrics growing, daily active users, stuff like that, people building things, people still on YouTube, still promoting, still consistent with the messaging. We're not scared off by the SEC, and the SEC does not have the power to take down a decentralized cryptocurrency. So, I mean, that's only one of many things to consider. Think more so about the number of people that haven't heard about any cryptos yet, HEX, PulseChain, whatever, PulseX, and think about the very small portion of people that are in the know right now. So in a couple of years' time, if you really look at HEX like a long-term savings technology, I'm not telling anybody go be a HEX maxi. I'm not saying put all your money in HEX. You can invest in other coins. Like I don't care. Invest in whatever you want. But it seems like a very good idea to me to at least set up your staking ladder so that you have a long-term savings vehicle plan. And then maybe you're in some meme coins or some degen stuff and it all pumps in the bull market. Great, make your gains. But I really do look at HEX like a long-term vehicle. I'm not all fully, staked 5,555 days, but it's good to have some expiring where, maybe where you think the bull market is going to be, maybe where you think the next bull market's going to be, maybe the next 4-year cycle, assuming that things stay in the 4-year cycle. I guess all I'm trying to say is that the way I look at things, it's too risky not to be involved in something without investing more than you're willing to lose, right? It's too risky to sit on the sidelines and miss what could be a huge opportunity of the next 10, 15 years because you're not getting these kind of gains in any other market other than crypto, not in stocks, not in bonds. And, some people say, oh, I'd rather play it safe. I look at the whole safety thing a little bit differently. I look at the whole, I think it's very risky to be in a lot of these traditional vehicles where they're hyperinflating the currencies. They're about to start printing even more money to fund a bunch of wars that you didn't vote for, to basically make the rich richer and the oligarchy. And this is a way to offload your money to a parallel financial ecosystem, take the power back into your own hands. It can't be shut off. All you got to do is memorize 12 words in your head or write them down. And this is the separation of money and state. So, do your normal finances. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Have fun with your meme coins or whatever you want to do. Your other crypto plays, they don't have to be meme coins. I'm invested in other coins too. But just consider the long-term future and consider the fact that crypto is not just a one pump type of deal, right? Crypto is going to be here for many, many decades to come. I think our children are going to not know anything but crypto. They're going to be born into a world where crypto is normal in 30 years. And so you're just betting on the trajectory of history of technology advancing and not us getting thrown back into the Stone Age. So when you look at it that way, it's kind of a safe bet. In my opinion, not financial advice. Check out hexscout.com, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. End stream.